What's up, guys? Robbie here, back at it again to give you guys an update on what we previously discussed in the last video. If you did not get a chance to watch the last video, we did discuss on how Bitcoin could be making moves to the downside. I really highly suggest you guys watch that video to kind of understand what we're going to be talking about today. That video should be popping up somewhere around right here. And yeah, let's get right back into it, okay? So if we talk about, let's build upon what we were talking about in the last video about how Bitcoin was making this rising wedge pattern. And a rising wedge, very simply, is where you have a rising resistance, which is the top line right here, and a rising support right here, and they converge at a point, and then it goes to the downside. And we did have that, and we kind of got confirmation of that well, we actually got confirmation of that right up here, but we also had further confirmation of that because we are continuing to the downside and we aren't really having that upward reversal point because we have not hit that target. And that downward target, like we discussed in the last video, was about that $38,000 level. And as you guys can see, I'm drawing a line right here. Basically, you just draw a line about the entrance of this pattern, you put it to the breakout, and we can see that that target is at the $38,000 level. So what does this mean for Bitcoin? Well, what we were talking about last time was that Bitcoin was kind of finding support on this red Fibonacci level, which was at that $47,000 area. We can see that previous, really recent events have brought that below that level, and now we are actually at that $43,000 support, which was tested when it went all the way down to 42, almost 42 flat $1,000. So, as of right now, Bitcoin is holding support at this lime green support level, and we know that this is strong support because it's held here and it's held here previously, and it was kind of resistance here. So this is a strong support area. There was a lot of selling volume here previously, over here in February, and this same exact area did hold. We do not have anywhere near the selling volume to break through this level. We're about halfway to that selling volume, but anything could happen, and especially with the cryptocurrency market, because it's so volatile, these volume numbers can go up exponentially overnight, even in a couple of minutes. So this support level is a really key factor to watch right now, because if this falls out, like we discussed in the previous video, there is no support in this wide range here. The range is from that $43,000 all the way down to that $30,000 psychological fib level. There is no support there. So if we do break support at this $43,000 level, we will be seeing a very, very, very quick return to that $30,000 level, which means A or B, probably get probably pick up some cheaper Bitcoin if that $30,000 level holds, or we're going to be seeing a lot cheaper Bitcoin in the near future because this rally is dead. So let's talk about that. Let's see where we're going to go. Okay, so obviously Bitcoin has made its decision. It's going to the downside. Could this support hold? Yes, but let's talk about the worst case scenario. What's going to happen if this support does not hold? So previously in the last video, we talked about, we just talked about, it's just going to hit the $30,000 level, right? So let's go beyond that. What is after the $30,000 level? So you see this red and teal green, or no, not teal green, lime green. You see this red and lime green zone, guys? This red and lime green zone is like a little tiny Fibonacci channel. We actually have another one of these right here, so it kind of acts like double support, which means that is extremely, extremely strong support. So if we do go down to that $30,000 level, that is the temporary target for now. It would hold very well because there is backup at that $27,000 level to kind of really help the price stay above that level. But where are we going to go if we break that level? Well, then we have another one of these big channels, guys, and that big channel is going to be right here from that $27,000 area all the way down to $17,000, guys. We haven't seen those numbers in a very long time, and if we see those numbers again, I bet you a lot of you guys are gonna be really excited because you're gonna be able to finally buy Bitcoin because you haven't been able to buy it because it's so expensive right now. And this is gonna be some discount prices down here. But look how big this channel is, guys. It's insane. It's the same thing that we're dealing with right now, where if we break support, we're going to be hitting this big channel. So if that $30,000, floor does give out, it's going to be hitting that, $16, $17, $18,000 level again, guys. And is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? You know what I'm saying? Could it go lower than that? Probably, but that is a pretty good pull down from 62,000. Let's go all the way down to 16, 17, 18,000. You know, buying at those levels would really minimize your risk because you have rode most of it down. It's kind of like buying at, you know, that first initial low of 5,600 when Bitcoin dropped in 2017. You know, you bought 5,600, yeah, it hit 3,200 for a month or two, but then it skyrocketed back up, right? So that's kind of like what that level is right now. But like we said, you know, the current target is that $30,000 area if the floor does give out. But let's talk about if the floor doesn't give out, because the floor doesn't have to give out here. We are at strong support. If the floor doesn't give out, then obviously we're going to be moving up. And how we're going to be moving up? Let's zoom into the chart here. All right, so we're zooming into the chart. As you can see, this chart does not look bueno at all, guys. As we can see, we kind of just had downward movement, sideways consolidation, downward movement, and we're going to see if we're going to see that sideways consolidation or downward movement. But let's just say that we're going to make a reverse Bart Simpson head right here, and we're going to be going up. What would that look like? So basically, we're going to have to climb our way back up here, guys. We are going to be dealing with a lot more resistance because we had a lot more trading going on at these price ranges. The first resistance that we're going to have to tackle is actually right above us at that $47,000 area, guys. $47,000. Remember that. If you wake up in the morning and see Bitcoin above $47,000, then you already know that we're past stage one in the recovery act. Okay, guys. The next one is gonna be at the $53,000 area right here. See right here where the floor gave out. You see this? See where that big red candle happened? That happened because the floor of this this support level gave out. That's going to be now resistance because it's overhead, and we're going to have to get over that $53,000 area, guys. Remember those two numbers: 47,000, 53,000. Those are the two numbers. If you are bullish on Bitcoin right now, you're not going to sell. You're going to be holding, you know, you're holding it until the day you die type of deal. Then you're really looking for that $47,000 area. When you wake up in the morning, you want it to be at 48. And then if it's holding above 48, you want to wake up and it's at 53. Now, you know, 53, 47,000, that doesn't really sound like much because we were hitting a $60,000 area, right? Well, here, let's look at why Bitcoin didn't really go above 60,000 so much. You see this blue line right here? This is also in our Fibonacci level. And we can see all this? It was this resistance, just kind of beating up against it, finally kind of broke out above it, got the breakout. But as we see, we have another one of these fib channels right here. You see that purple line? That purple and blue line is another channel right here. And we know that right now we're bouncing on support, right, guys? And that support is one of these channels. You see this red and lime green right here? And we know that it's very strong support, but when it's overhead, it's extremely strong resistance as well. And we see that that's why Bitcoin kind of failed here, did not pass through the first attempt. It was not helping that we were in that rising wedge, right, guys? You know, like what we were talking about here. We're in this rising wedge pattern, so obviously that didn't help. But it could just not, you know, get the volume to push through. And we see, if you guys look really hard right here, we got that selling volume right here, which broke to the downside, not to the upside, unfortunately. So going forward, if we do get past that $53,000 area, the next one is that $60,000 area. And isn't that weird, guys? How these Fibonacci levels end up going to psychological numbers like exact 60, 60,000, 30,000. These are exact numbers. The reason being is because they're psychological numbers, guys. These are numbers that play with your head. When people wake up in the morning and see 60,000 bit, they're like, you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm going to sell. Or they wake up in the morning, they see $30,000 bet. They're like, you know what? I'm going to buy because it's really cheap and I like that number. People like the even numbers, even in your bank account. You like to see, you know, you like to see 10 grand in your bank account. You don't like to see 10 grand 150. You know what I'm saying? Or even that. That's, you know, it's pretty even. But like, you know, you don't like to see change in your bank account. It gets on your nerves. Same deal with this. It's just weird. This is how it works. Okay, so we're going to have to break that $60,000 area, right? Let's say we break that $60,000 area. Then we have to get to the $63,000 area right here. And previously we did it. We were hitting that $65,000 area. Everybody thought Bitcoin was good. The volume did not pull through. People were not convinced that Bitcoin was going to stay above 65,000, so they were not buying. They were selling instead, and that's what caused the price to go down now. So basically, we got to hit that reaction point. We got to find that reaction point. If you're a bull, this is going to be the point where you're hoping there's a reaction at the $43,000 level where people wake up in the morning and they just want to buy, because if we don't hit that reaction point now, then it is going to go down to that $30,000 level. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Hope it was very informative. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything like that, leave them down below. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, thank you for staying tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.